Welcome to the Zaxby's Coaches Show, brought to you by First Bank, Farm Bureau Insurance, and Zaxby's Friends, Family, Flavor. With your host, Chris Delambert, only on the NFHS Network, brought to you by New Image Media.
Welcome to the Zaxby's Coaches Show. What's it, October 10th?
October 10th?
I don't even know why I asked. October 10th. We got a big show ahead of us. But before we kick that off, or maybe as we kick that off, Hector, how are you, sir?
You know what? As for you, it's been a good day. For me, it's been an all right day. It's just a step there to a team good.
Look, man, you rolled out something brand new, man. What do I have to do to get the golf hat?
The golf. Oh man, actually, this is actually nice to have whenever you're out golfing.
I know.
For Zaxby's, of course.
I know. What do I have to do?
Just let me know.
All right.
What do you want up? Just let's hope.
What colors are available?
Black, red, white, and I think like a turquoise blue.
Oh, definitely.
There you go, match the shirt
Yeah,
a little bit. There you
turquoise.
go.
My grandmother told me when I was a little kid, everything you own should be turquoise.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, whatever. And it's kind of held through. I can't tell you how many shirts I have that are turquoise.
It's a good color.
So what's going on in the chicken world, man?
Oh, you know what? We're just kind of grinding through the days. I feel like the weeks, the months kind of just blend in together. We got a couple events coming up. Halloween coming up here soon.
All right.
Soon. It's more than I thought it would be. In November, we got a couple 5Ks going on, and in December, it's just a bunch of catering for that month.
All right, since it's October, man, let's talk about trunk or treat. Where are you guys doing it?
So I know the one that we're going to be doing so far, that's 100% official, is the one at the Harley Davidson up in Fayetteville, right on Sycamore Dairy Road, I believe it's called.
Sure.
Just put it in your GPS.
Okay.
Harley Davidson trunk or treat.
And it's the Fayetteville Harley Davidson, right?
Yeah.
All right. And what are the hours? Any ideas?
It's going to be from 10 to 2 p.m., so quite a bit. So I got to get a lot of candy.
So 10 to 2 p.m. on a Halloween day.
Yes.
10 to 2. It can't be
No.
Halloween.
It's a Saturday. It's a Saturday.
It's Saturday, so it'll be the
Halloween.
29th.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to think.
The 29th of October, 10 to 2 at the Fayetteville Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get your candy on.
Yeah.
All right, I'm digging all of that.
It should be a lot, man. We usually have about 300 to 400 kids that come out.
Really?
They run me dry.
Okay, how many adults?
200.
See, we got.
I'm trying to.
The candy's cool, but we need to do like an adult trunk or treat with Zaxby's, where
that'd be
bottles,
great,
whatever. Work on that.
Yeah, well, I'll try. We'll see what
kids
we
are
do.
great, man, but adults, we need.
Yeah, we need a little thing. I can't get any candy. I try to have some leftovers. Sneak a little in the car just to have some. But
what kind of candy is your go-to?
My go-to's Snickers, Twix. I'm not too much of a Starburst, Skittles. Not really like a lot of.
All right, but have you had the Starburst jelly beans?
No, I have not. Actually, every year I keep.
Stop.
I keep.
Go to a drugstore, a grocery store, whatever, on the way home.
Okay.
And get a bag of Starburst jelly beans.
Is that your Starburst jelly bean drug dealer there?
That's exactly what was going on.
Is that what it was calling?
And I just screenshotted it too. So, no, Starburst jelly beans, man. The only thing I can think of that's better than Starburst jelly beans is a good chicken finger platter from Zaxby's.
Good transition there,
the
man.
The only thing I can think of, man. What's specials going on?
As of right now, nothing as of yet. I know
there's always something.
Oh yeah, but sometimes they like to do it a week before, so that way people know.
All right.
They just try to work with the whole communication. If you tell somebody, a month in advance, they'll forget in a month.
All right.
So,
I'm digging it. Well, if you don't want to have to remember, just get the app.
Oh yeah.
The alerts let you know anytime there's some free chicken going on. Buy one, get one. Anything going on with Zaxby's. Check out the app. It's a great app. I love it. I'm all about it, man.
I'm glad.
All right. Thanks as always to everything you guys do for high school sports in the region.
I appreciate it.
And extra thank you. There was a big platter of chicken fingers up in the press box at Lee County this week.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm happy that we were there to help you guys out.
Fantastic. Thanks, man. Anything you'd like to add?
No, other than that, just come by your local Zaxby's. I'll give it out for everyone. I know we're a franchise, but hey, Zaxby's is good regardless.
All right, go buy your local Zaxby's, and no matter where you're at, there's a local Zaxby's this day. There's more stores here than a little bit.
So. Oh yeah, no, there's going to be a bunch more.
I'd ask you how many branches you guys have in this region, but you don't know.
No, it keeps growing, man. It keeps growing. It's more work, but hey, it's good, right?
You're awesome, man. We'll see you next week. Actually, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, you'll see me tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow in the Moore County Coaches Show. All right, I'm Chris. This is Hector. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
we took our signature sandwich and pumped up the bass. With bacon and cheese, it's the new Signature Club, remixed by Zaxby.
Legal matters involving the family can be emotionally draining, complex, and difficult for all involved. Call the highly skilled attorneys at King Law Firm today. The call is free, the consultation is free, the advice is priceless. King Law Firm, we fight to make it right.
The show, I am Chris, and I'm joined by the coach.
Yes, sir.
Steve Burdeau. What's going on, Coach?
Not too much.
Yeah, this is the first time this year we had to have a show and not be all, chipper and smiling. And let's talk about this week. Pinecrest rolled in there. Pinecrest team is in flux. I, for one, hadn't seen a lot of Pinecrest, didn't really know what to expect. I was amazed at how different they are now than they used to be in terms of how multiple they are on offense. Always been great athletes down there. I was looking at something not long ago. Coach Metzger, when he was down there for 20 years, put about 3.5 kids into college every single year. So it tells you what kind of athletes. But I thought that team did a very, very, very supremely good job of using their athletes and their skill set to do things and kind of put them in position to succeed. Now that you've seen them up close and personal, what's your takeaway?
No, I think they're a very good football team. We knew that going in. They played, and the two teams that beat them were the two last 4A teams in the state championship. So teams that beat them were very, very, very talented football teams. They've went through some roller coasters with some injuries and kind of have actually built depth through that. And in the long run, it's looked like it's helping them as some of those guys are coming back. And they're back.
All right, so 40-23 was the final score. It was a game where it didn't get away from you early necessarily, but then you dug yourself into a hole.
Yeah.
Started with the very first series, you guys went 3 and out. Almost had to do a double take because that never happens to Lee County. But they came out prepared, especially early on in the game. They kind of stopped the run, and your screen game never got going. What did they do that was so effective against the screen game in particular?
Some of it was what they did, and some of it what we didn't do, I guess, would be part of it. We weren't real physical at the point of contact at our receiver position, or ever a threat to go vertical at that point. That's one of the things we coach those guys to do. They have to approach it as they're going to run by somebody. And if you're never a threat to run by somebody, that corner never has to move, and now he can be all over it. They did a good job of retracing with their D linemen and getting back to where the ball was going. And we were missing some blocks with our O-linemen. So a little combination of a couple different things that set that up a little bit. And going into the first series, they do a good job of moving the ball down the field on us. When we did put them in situations to have to make a play, they made a play and we missed a tackle, or we misaligned, or I didn't really as much misalignment as missed a tackle.
Well, it was interesting because going into the game, Jerry Chalmers was on color. I talked to Nate Cochran about it. We had all watched cut-ups. We watched some telecasts, and we looked at it. And my big takeaway, I'm going to be frank with you, I wasn't that impressed with the offense because what it seemed like every time they had a big play, there were a bunch of missed tackles. But then against you guys, every time they had a big play, it was that many missed tackles. And I guess maybe they didn't look like they ought to be running as hard or running through as many tackles as they were. But I was astounded, and I don't know the last time I've seen that many missed tackles, so don't feel bad because they've done it over and over and over. But you talked about guys running by folks at the receiver position. One of the positive takeaways I think from the game was Jaden Hill. Jaden had a ball he'd like to have over again in the end zone early, but late had 2 almost 50-50 balls where he ran down the field. And if nothing else, you've got that on tape now, which might loosen some of that up and people stop packing the box. What is your vision for him as you move forward? Has he carved out a spot as sort of the number 1 receiver, or is he just a guy that you'll use, depending upon the route is? What's that look like?
Yeah, so Jaden has really progressed throughout the season. Does a really, really good job blocking. A lot of young receivers had no interest in wanting to block. That's one thing that he's actually.
There are a lot of receivers.
Period.
Like
but he has bought into that and enjoyed it a little bit, and he's seen that kind of helps in the running the route part of his game as well. He is a very good 50-50 ball type guy. He can go up and get the ball. That's part of the game that is there. I think weeks when it's an outside receiver week, he's going to have a chance to have some big games.
All right, if you go back in time in preparation for this game, is there anything you would have done differently schematically? Or when you look at it, 40-23, and the score was a little bit worse than that up until you guys got a touchdown late, but you look back on it, just like every other football game in the world, there half dozen plays go a different way. 2 turnovers down deep when you had momentum going your way, you put a touchdown on the ground, issues with the kicking game, and the fake punt.
Yeah.
Did you feel a certain kind of way about that fake punt,
that was,
given the time and place in the game?
That was a very good call. To be honest, I'm saying we had just stopped them. It is 30-10. And
4th and 20.
4th and 20, 25. Yeah. That's a situation where I say that's a 14-point play. If they drop that pass, we score a touchdown.
Yeah.
They score a touchdown. So that's a 14-point swing. There were a couple of those in the game that happened. We had a play where we fumbled down at about the 30-yard line. They score the next play. The sophomore kid makes a big play on a slant. Instead of us going in and scoring, they went the other way and scored. So again, that's another 14-point swing. When you start adding those points up, score kind of looks a whole lot different in situations. But hats off to them. They did an excellent job, throughout the whole thing. Every ball that could bounce, they were in the position to make it. And that's because they were prepared and they worked hard and the kids ran to the football. All those things happen when you do those things.
All right. So what's the temperature in the locker room like right now? This is a team not accustomed to losing, kind of building momentum as season as this was taking shape. That hey, maybe we can run the table. It doesn't change your goals. 3A, you're never going to see Pinecrest again this year, no matter what plays out. But has it had any impact?
I hope if any impact, it'd be a positive one. My thoughts are there's not a whole lot that changes in our long-term goals with anything to happen in that game. Hopefully that just shows more things that we need to continue to improve on and focus on, and see the small things that we talk about turn into really big things when they're not done consistently.
All right, I can tell you I had a good friend of mine that was close to the Nebraska football program back in the Tom Osborne days when they used to run the table. And he always used to say that Nebraska team would finish the season better if they dropped the game somewhere mid-season, because if they ran the table and were undefeated through conference play,
too easy for them.
They didn't get the players focused. So maybe that's what we're working with here. We'll be back on the other side of the break, and we will talk about what's coming this week. You're watching the Zaxby Coaches Show.
We took our signature sandwich and pumped up the base. With bacon and cheese, it's the new Signature Club, remixed by Zaxby.
90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. My name is Rich Trockton, and we are First Bank.
All right, welcome back to the Zaxby's Coaches Show. Coach, before we give away some hardware, let's talk about this week in preparation. What do you see on tape?
So it's a team that has a humongous offensive line. They like to pound the ball behind, have an athletic quarterback and several dynamic receivers on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, they're very aggressive. They like to play man coverage and kind of, out-athlete people in that situation while they can bring pressure inside the box with some athletic linebackers.
Now, it looks like last year what they did that was effective is they packed the box and they took away short pass and said, if you're going to beat us, you're going to beat us down the field. If you go back and you look at that game tape, and I'm sure you have over and over again, you had the plays down the field and missed them by about 3 or 4 times. You had a touchdown was dropped at the beginning. Back 2, if I'm not mistaken. So people look back at that Richmond game, they're like, whoa, wait a minute. But that game was an awful lot closer than the scoreboard said. Do you expect the same thing? Do you think they're going to pack the box and make you throw it over their heads?
I think they're going to have at least 6 guys in the box, maybe sometimes 7, but most often 6. Different group of secondary, different group of coaches calling defense, so it's a little bit different philosophy for them. So I guess we'll have to see on Friday, but they definitely have been playing man coverage.
Talk about the quarterback play, because this is, by my reckoning, this is the first time in 7 years there hadn't been a hood, a quarterback. What's the quarterback bringing to the table here? So, and for those that don't know, Caleb Hood is at UNC as a running back. His brother Kellen, who took his place and spent 3 years there at quarterback as a receiver down there. These kids, very, very well. Talk about the quarterback that's in there now.
Yeah, so he's another athlete. Has a big arm, can make some deep throws down the field. Is similar to both of those guys as far as when things break down, can definitely stretch things with his legs, and probably is similar to Kellen in that I don't know if he's always been a quarterback. They might have converted him at some point in his career, and he stepped in there and is doing it well.
All right, so there's a little bit of symmetry possible here. Yeah. So this past weekend, you were going for win number 50 in your career. Yeah. You were aware of that?
50 at Lee County, yeah.
Okay, so that's where my question is. You've got to win as the interim coach at Richmond.
Yeah.
Does that count or does it not in your head?
It don't really matter to me.
Doesn't matter to you?
As long as we win the next one. That's the only one that matters.
All right, very good. But it'd be a nice place to get that 50th win at Lee County against Richmond this weekend. We're excited about it.
Definitely.
All right. Coach, well, before we do, what's going on, Mr. Fushi?
I'm happy to be here. I love you guys so much. I'm here on my day off.
And you know what? You almost matched the blazer perfectly with Lee County with the colors. Was that intentional?
I'm a Lee County alum, so I'm all about Lee County football.
I like that. And in fact, I'm looking with the blazers. You're almost in uniform, man. That's how you guys ought to get off the bus, Coach.
Yeah, we need to. Yeah.
I like it. What's going on at First Bank these days?
Everything's good, man. I mean, you know the rates. Everyone sees that they're high right now, and people are scared. But historically, it's on par. We're still lower than it was 20 years ago.
Got it.
So people just don't need to be scared. Come see us if you need some help. That's what we're here to do. We're a community bank. We're ready to help.
Very good. Very good. Coach, who do we have with us?
So we have our offensive player of the week this week is Aiden. Aiden Rooney actually plays some both ways. Has been a guy that's been up here at least once already this year, I think. Doing a great job at left tackle, coming in and playing some defense. Filling in and being on a field goal team when we need him to be there. Aiden just does a little bit of everything. Braden Kirkland, another guy that fills in on special teams when needed, but it had a really good game on the defensive line and doing all the things we need those guys to do as far as leadership-wise.
Got it. Guys, what are you going to remember about this Pinecrest game?
Personally, I think that I'm going to remember the loss, remember how it feels. So I can go forward, and I don't want to replicate that feeling ever again.
All right. I feel like you guys owe Richmond something this weekend, right?
Yeah, I mean, from last year, most definitely, because I don't know about anybody else, but I did not have the game I wanted at Richmond last year, so we definitely need some redemption.
All right. What do you think you guys can do differently against Richmond this time around?
Play more violently.
Yeah.
No missed tackles. Just play our ball. Play Lee County football.
All right. Very good. Coach, anything you'd like to add?
I like it. I like the not missing tackles, and I definitely like playing violently. One thing that both of those guys have done a good job of is using their hands when they're playing defensive line and resetting the line of scrimmage, something that Coach Green talks about all the time with them. So that was something that we did a good job of this week, and we expect them to do it again this coming up week.
All right, very good, Mr. Fushi. If you would be so kind as to present the hardware first offense.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Good plan. Good plan, brother.
And guys, just as important as those trophies, or almost as important as those trophies, as the $25 gift card from Zaxby's. Well earned, guys, and we'll be on hand this weekend as you all take on Richmond. What time's kick, Coach?
7:30.
7:30, just like always. And if folks want tickets to the game, do they need to get them in advance? Can they get them at the gate?
Come on and get them on the GoFan, gofan.com.
Gofan.com. Check it out. Easy enough app to use. I'll be there. He'll be there. You guys will be there. You coming out?
Absolutely, I'll be there.
Fantastic. All right, the gang's all there. Perfect. Maybe if we play our cards right, we can get some more chicken in the press box. That'd be fantastic. All right. With that, we will take a break, and we'll be back on the other side. You're watching the Zaxby's Coaches Show.
WilkinsonCars.com. Come visit us at our new location in Sanford. With the same great staff and the same great service. Test drive one of our many different vehicles. Check out our state-of-the-art service department and collision center, where our team can have you back on the road in no time. We're right across from Walmart at 3335 North Carolina 87 South. Schedule your appointment online at WilkinsonCars.com or call us at 919-842-3322. We guarantee we're the place to be at Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC.
We have a home at 225 Sainsbury Place.
Bring it.
We have automobiles.
Bring it.
I have golf clubs.
Bring it.
We have a trampoline.
Bring it.
I have jewelry.
Bring it. For all your home, auto, life, all your insurance needs, give us a call at 919-774-4440.
Come see us in person, 1720 West Edward Drive in Sanford, right beside Dexter Steakhouse.
North Carolina Farm Bureau is a proud sponsor of
Scholar Athlete of the Week Award.
All right, welcome back to the Zaxby's Coaches Show. Coach, I want to know before we do anything else, man, you got your resume together?
Always, I guess.
I mean, there's an opening in Charlotte, and I know we want you to stay here in Lee County, but if, Dave Tepper comes opening up that checkbook, we would all understand if you went to
I guess they
coach the
supposedly
Panthers.
paid Coach $40 million to leave, so I don't know. That's not a bad gig, I guess.
I saw right before Matt Rule took the job with the Panthers, he did a video of sort of like a day in the life and rolled out, he was there at Baylor, and the house just ludicrous, man. It was like Lifestyles of Rich and Famous, and then he went and signed
made the money,
contract with Charlotte,
No
with the Panthers. I'm like, man, I'm not living right. Absolutely not living right. What is the difference in terms at each level? You've been at one of the bigger high school programs in the state of Richmond. In terms of preparation at a big program like that or at Lee County versus college, how much more in-depth and intense is the amount of effort you have to put into the job? And then what do you suspect it is from the NFL to college?
So I would say, and I would say most college coaches would probably say that high schools probably have more individually to do, because in the college level they have so many people helping, especially in a big school that has, GAs and student assistants and offense and defensive analysts that have used to be head coaches everywhere. Everybody has such a small portion of the job, and they all come together. And as long as you have competent people and you can trust them, I guess, in those situations, everybody's job is a little bit easier. And I would assume probably even one more step to the NFL level, where they probably even have even more hands on deck, financially, that it's able to do so much more.
Got it. At every level, though, like John Wooden used to say, the most powerful tool is, playing time.
Yeah.
Playing time, that's one thing I want to talk to you about is you guys, more so than most programs that are big programs, you guys tend at Lee County not to put folks on varsity unless they're going to get on the field.
Yeah.
How hard is it to manage reps and make sure people are filling a role or getting onto the field, and managing sort of, what's best for the team at the same time?
Yeah, so especially with our sophomores, it's kind of the in-between of, they can play on a Thursday night and play a whole game and get a lot of experience and maybe even dominate a game, or they might come and play on varsity and get 10 snaps. So to me, we're going to play that kid on JV, and as long as we have somebody that can fill a role on varsity. But until somebody dominates on Thursday nights, we try to leave them on Thursday nights. That's always our goal.
All right. Coach, we've got our Farm Bureau Scholar Athlete of the Week. Carson Lanier is here. No sport coat tonight. Man, I'm a little let down.
Like my man Mary said, I wasn't off today, but it was a holiday, so I took
what was the holiday today? Was it Columbus Day?
Some guy that kind of
didn't know.
Found America.
Didn't know. I didn't. I didn't even know. See, shows you. I need to come work for you. Did you play golf today?
No, I did this weekend.
Did you? What'd you shoot?
74. Not too good for me.
Come on, man.
Where'd
you play?
Sequoia National. We were in Cherokee.
Wow, that's baller.
That's big time.
It was nice.
Baller.
It was nice.
Man, oh man, oh man. Were you playing the tournament? You just out there to hit it?
Just playing. Family and friends. Our first annual trip to the mountains. We're going to do it every October.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to
be
good.
Did you do some gambling while you were out there?
Can I disclose that? My wife may be watching this.
Fair enough.
Yes, we had a good time.
All right. Very good. What's going on with Farm Bureau?
Nothing much, about the same old stuff, but we shine in adversity, kind of like the Jackets do. They're going to bounce back, play hard. Hurricane was a big deal for a lot of people. We're still getting calls now from clients wanting to switch to us because they haven't heard from their adjuster or their agent yet. We're not so big that we don't have a 1-800 number. You get personal cell phone numbers, so come give us a shot, check us out. It's a great company, and we take care of our clients.
All right, Farm Bureau, you guys have any branch offices down in Florida?
We do not. North Carolina only.
North Carolina only. See, I didn't realize that.
We're North Carolina's #1 insurer.
All right, so nobody has to worry because there's a lot of talk about Florida, the insurance companies going under. No worries about that with Farm Bureau. You guys are solid as a rock.
Solid.
I like it, man.
Yes, sir.
I like it. All right, Coach, who do we have with us as the scholar athlete?
So we got junior athlete Anthony Battle. Anthony's had a really good season so far. Defensively, had another interception. How many do you have now? How many is it? Four interceptions. Feel like every game there's a couple big plays that Anthony's involved in, and doing a lot of things for us in special teams. And obviously he's handling business in the classroom too.
All right, Coach, he keeps showing you he can catch football.
He can.
When's he going to get lined up in the slot?
He can line up at any of our full receiver spots, and he knows what to do. I'm confident of that.
All right, fantastic. Mr. Battle, you have been a ray of sunshine, and we've kind of watched you grow with the rest of that secondary. Do you guys feel as a unit more solid than when we started the season, or am I just talking out the side of my neck?
Yeah, I'll say we've been recently we have been playing way better than we have in the beginning of the season.
And what do you think? How do you think that manifests itself? What do you think is better about your play now than week 1, week 2?
I ain't have a lot of varsity experience, so I'll say that.
Okay. As a safety, sometimes you're back there too high. Sometimes you're back there by yourself. What are you looking for from the offense to try and get an idea of what's going on pre-snap?
I'm looking at the line and whether or not the O-line's going to pass block or run block, and then I react off that.
Okay. Coach, anything you like to add?
No, look, hopefully we get a number 5 or number 6 interception this week. Would sound good to me.
For sure.
All right, so what have you seen on tape, Anthony, with regard to Richmond? What do you expect to see from them? Anything that worries you? You got it pretty well locked down?
Yeah, I'll say so.
All right.
I'll say so.
Cool. Carson, if you would be so kind as to pass along the hardware.
Yes, congratulations. Appreciate you,
Thank you
working hard in the classroom and on the field. I appreciate it.
All right, Coach, anything you'd like to add before we go to break?
Go Jackets.
All right, we'll come back and we'll talk about, I don't know what we'll talk about, man. Probably some more Charlotte. I keep wanting to call them Charlotte Panthers. Carolina Panthers. I don't really want to talk about the Bengals right now. I'm still a little salty. All right, we'll see you on the other side of the break. You're watching Zaxby's Coaches Show.
At the Shed Depot of North Carolina, we believe there's a better way to buy a shed, where all the selection, all the quality, and all the service are in one convenient location to make your buying experience easy. Our 3-acre sales center has over 60 sheds in stock, and if you don't see what you need, our sales experts can guide you through the custom design process to meet your unique needs. Get started today at ShedDepotNC.com.
Lamco Homes. From concept to design, constructed to fit your lifestyle. We use only top quality finishes to make our house your home. Lamco Homes. Our standards are others' options.
After they booed him this weekend, here we're talking about Alabama football. Bryce Young got booed this weekend because he didn't play. Coach, Carolina Panthers, man, that's your squad.
Yeah.
Matt Rule, the experiment didn't work. Talk to me from a coach's standpoint why you think an offense that was so effective when he was at Baylor.
Yeah.
He's sort of that air raid,
Yeah.
School of thought. Same thing with Lincoln Riley and the rest of those guys. Why didn't his concepts work in the NFL? Because it surely is not because of talent.
Well, I think some of it, I'm not sure how much of that they did. I'm saying, I guess they do a little bit, and they definitely have plenty of offensive talent. The stat that I did see that kind of blew my mind was when the Panthers let up 17 points. I believe it was 1-27.
Yes.
And 17 points in the NFL is kind of like, I don't feel like that's a tremendous amount.
Yeah, you generally roll off the bus and can count on scoring 17.
So anytime they let up 27 or 17, they lost. That's rough. Yeah, and the defense consistently played pretty well. I guess that's how they won the other games. They gave it less than 17.
Well, they didn't do that too many times, so that's why Matt Rule's unemployed now at this point. You playing fantasy this year?
I did not sign up. I did not mess with it this year. I don't know. I struggled to. I used to do it a lot. I used to do fantasy a lot, and I just couldn't mess with it. It's tough for me to turn on even Sunday football now with the way the Panthers are playing. I still do it though. I still watch every one of them, and sometimes I got 2 TVs on so I can really watch another game over there, and I still got the Panthers on. But I'm hoping they can figure something out.
Maybe it's just a change in direction. We'll see. I mean, I've kind of adopted the Panthers. I've been in North Carolina now for about 11 years. I've kind of adopted the Panthers as my NFC team. I wish I could care about them as much as I do the Bengals, but it just kind of is what it is. College, who's your squad?
So I have really not picked I used to have a team, and then as I started coaching, I started having players go in all these different teams, and those teams played the teammates. So I'm more of a fan of people that I've coached or sometimes coached against on my route for.
It's funny because I don't get to coach them, but I'm the same way. Because if App's on, I'm going to turn them on. I'm going to turn on UNC to see Dez. I'm constantly chasing folks that I've seen, but particularly kids that have come through here. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So who was your team formerly before you?
So I grew up in North Carolina, so I guess the Tar Heels.
I mean, it could be the Heels, could be Duke, it could be NC
for the
State.
most part, it was. I grew up watching the Bulls because they were always on TV. Grew up watching the Braves because they're always on TV.
Yep.
So Bulls, obviously, you got Jordan.
You are definitely a child of the South.
Yeah,
yes,
that's what you had to watch.
The Atlanta Braves.
There was nothing else on if you're going to watch a sport. So
Braves win today.
I didn't even see the score.
I haven't either,
hope
man. I work too hard. I'll get home and flip on the Sports Center and see what's going on. Coach, you don't come back off losses very often. I want to say that your record going into 49-8, I think, is your overall record now, and 4 of those, of course, came in the postseason. Do you kind of sometimes take it for granted and kind of have to come back to reality and be like, oh, wait a minute, this is what it's like to come back off a loss? Or how do you rebound?
So I don't think that hopefully not, as coaches we don't, or even sometimes the players may, or maybe even some coaches do. I try to make sure that keep humble myself as much as possible, and even go back and watch in film, even when we win. And sometimes you may get frustrated. You may win by maybe 48-0, and you find 5 plays. But man, we could have won 70-0 if we went better on those 5 plays. So try not to be any different in those situations. But I think sometimes people don't realize, looking at stats and games and different things, we just sometimes assume, oh, he's going to run. They're going to have 250 yards rushing, and when you don't, it's like, well, there's issues, or 5 yards a carry is pretty good. A lot of people would take that. So there's different things like that. I think a lot of people don't realize that other teams practice too.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. And we kind of talked about Pinecrest a little bit. I was very, very impressed. I'm going to say this on the air. I felt like the fact that their staff is constructed the way it is might have had just a little bit of play. They seem particularly well prepared. And there's a couple local folks on that staff over there.
So
I don't know.
I know a few of those coaches, and they've built a good staff from a couple different areas and a couple different passes through different schools together. Familiar with 3 or 4 of the coaches, and I didn't really know Coach Edens real well. Knew him through different people. Got a chance to talk to him a few times. Really good dude, and obviously seeing why he's had so much success at the schools he's been at. And he's built a really good staff around him. A couple guys that I've worked with. Are key parts of his staff, and I know why he brought them with him.
Okay, well, I get a chance to talk to him tomorrow. He'll actually be at the Moore County Coaches Show. Pinecrest's going to make their first appearance in addition to Union Pines, so that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to meeting Coach Edens. Yeah. I was impressed with them. Thankfully, you don't have to see him again. Anything else you want to talk about, Coach, or should we roll on out early? It's up to you. It's your show.
Well, I think that we could bring a nice second to talk about this beautiful place.
So what's your idea? You had an idea that you bounced off me, but I'm not the guy that can make it happen. No. The one that is here, we're on location at Wilson Cadillac.
I didn't see it until I walked by. I see it now as I'm sitting here. It's already got a nice sold sign there on it, so I guess it wouldn't work for that one. It's like,
he can get another one.
Yeah, it's like the player of the game should take a test drive and nothing. Now we might not get it back if that happens, but so some great cars down here, great trucks down here. I got one recently and getting a chance to get used to it a little bit. So
that's fantastic.
I think appreciative of them opening up a little bit longer. Mr. Wilkinson staying and hanging out with us a little bit longer. On days he could probably go home and
he's leaning on the counter. I
Yeah,
can
he's-
tell without looking at him. He's like, "You guys finished?" You guys finished?" No, Wilkins Cadillac in their palatial digs here, man. It's always fun to come up here. We appreciate Mr. Wilkinson and Wilkinson Cadillac and all the support that they give us, and the fact that they let us come hang out every couple Mondays and film the show here. But come on down and look at everything. But you can spend a little special time,
Yes.
with that baby right there,
Yeah.
who sadly has a yellow sold sign in the window. We should have squared up the shot so we could see that a little bit better. But Coach, good luck this weekend.
Yes, sir.
Richmond, man, people don't believe the hype. People talking about, well, they never got off to a, I didn't realize. I talked to somebody that knows beyond any shadow of a doubt. Richmond never before this season had ever started 0-3. This is a Richmond team that's in flux, but they're still Richmond. So they're going to have big athletes. They're going to come out there. They're going to be prepared. And, it's good. Should be a great ball game this weekend. I am looking forward to it. Glad I'm going to be there. Will, you going to be out there this weekend?
It is our reunion, high school reunion.
Well, there you go. So we'll be there. Hope you are too. Kick is at 7:30. Go to what's the name?
Go Fam.
Go
They're
Fam.
also honoring Coach Spivey at halftime, inducted into the Hall of Fame for the NCHSAA. So they're going to do something
That
for him at
is
halftime. So that's pretty big
fantastic.
time as well. Recognition for him, pretty big time.
All right. Very cool, Coach. Appreciate you hanging
Yes,
out.
sir.
We'll see you Friday. I'm Chris. This is Coach Burdeau. Thanks for hanging out. We will see you on the other side. This has been the Zaxby's Coaches Show. Peace.
Are you ready to sell your home and don't know which realtor to choose? Well, not all realtors are the same. I'm Crystal Copas, and I don't just stick a sign in the yard, throw it in the MLS, and hope to collect a commission. I provide a customized marketing plan that includes professional staging, photography, videography, and drone at no cost to you. Contact me, Crystal Copas, with RE/MAX Real Estate Service, and let's get your house sold. 919-356-5402 or visit me at crystalcopas.com.
WilkinsonCars.com. Come visit us at our new location in Sanford. With the same great staff and the same great service. Test drive one of our many different vehicles. Check out our state-of-the-art service department and collision center, where our team can have you back on the road in no time. We're right across from Walmart at 3335 North Carolina 87 South. Schedule your appointment online at WilkinsonCars.com or call us at 919-842-3322. We guarantee we're the place to be at Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. The Zaxby's Coaches Show, brought to you by First Bank, Farm Bureau Insurance, and Zaxby's Friends, Family, Flavor. With your host, Chris Delambert, only on the NFHS Network. Brought to you by New Image Media.